Ready, set, go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is John Noenko.
And I'm Ariel Campbell, and this is labeled A Brand in the Making.
Yes, we are super excited. This is actually our first episode, and we are just two 20-something-year-olds just kind of in our mid-careers. We actually started a brand. I actually have my own retail shop that I started. It's kind of transitioning from a more contemporary into a more high-end luxury, especially with the new brands that I'm carrying, which I'm super excited to talk about. And Ariel, what do you got going on?
I am starting my brand from the ground up. I am just at the beginning stages, but I hope to someday be at your level, learning from you.
Listen, I am actually not there yet. I'm growing into that. I actually just started my brand or my company in June of this year. It was supposed to start maybe before this whole situation that went on with COVID-19 pandemic, social injustice, all that crap. But June came around and I was like, you know what? It's never gonna be a perfect time. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what I did, and it's been steadily growing, and I am nowhere near the Net-a-Porters or the Moda Operandes, but I am at a good spot where I feel like certain customers are liking the product that I have to offer. So that's me, but
Well, when people want to escape from what's going on outside.
True.
And they want to go back to some sort of normalcy.
True, but I do feel like, especially with online shopping and, with stores kind of still closed, we're located in Los Angeles, California, so a lot of the stores in our area are still kind of closed down. So a lot of customers are shopping online more than what it was before. So it's interesting to kind of see how much people are shopping. I definitely shop online because, I'm a millennial, so I shop a lot online. Then I go into store. But the thing about me also, I'm very instant gratification and all that stuff. And, I want it now instead of having to wait however many weeks before it comes in.
I hate when things are saying it'll take a week or two to get there. It's no, I mean tomorrow, or let me drive there. I'd rather drive somewhere and pick it up than wait and pay for shipping. Oh, and that's another thing.
Oh my God, exactly. Listen, so I bought something on Amazon maybe last week. So it was supposed to come in. It said it takes maybe 2 to 3 business days to actually for the I guess the shipping and receiving people to actually ship the item, put it in postage and send it. It took them a week to do that. And I was just I really wanted it now. I should have got it was a book. So I bought this book, the paperback, and it said it'll take about 2 to 3 business days to ship, actually give it to the postal office. It took longer than that, and I was kind of upset because I really wanted to read it right away, and I was I should have just got the Kindle version instead of just waiting for this book, and I was just ugh, whatever. But we have a great show coming up for you guys. We're going to be talking about, you guessed it, maybe not, I don't know, Fashion Week. New York Fashion Week just ended this past week, actually ended maybe a couple of days ago.
Wednesday, yeah.
I feel the 17th was Wednesday, or was it Thursday?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we're going to be talking about New York Fashion Week, what we loved, what we didn't love, and we're going to be very
honest.
But we'll be cool. We'll be cool.
Again, and we're new to the fashion industry, so take our opinion with a grain of salt. Yes, we know we're not experts in this, but we feel our opinion is valid.
Exactly.
And if you're listening to us, you do too.
Exactly. And also, our backgrounds kind of align with it. I've been in fashion merchandising for a while. I also am getting my master's in fashion merchandising, and Ariel.
I have a bachelor's of fine arts in fashion design from Parsons. So feel like I know a better thing.
Right, Parsons is the #1 school in the United States. You better keep that. You better gloat about that, okay, sis? You better gloat about that because Parsons. I wanted to go to Parsons for my master's, and it's hard to get into one, and it's hard to like stay in. So I couldn't imagine what she went through.
It was more hard to stay in just because of the people. I just didn't fit in. I'm not what the fashion industry is changing into. I'm more of the old school, tailored, Dior type garments, and Parsons is more the conceptual, oversized, unisex.
Right. I feel like why is that? I mean, I get it. Creativity comes from all sources of mediums, all sources of inspiration or references. But I'm like, I feel like fashion you can still have that, unisex, that grungy, edgy look, but keep it tailored, If, what's that brand called? Fear of God is able to do it. Why can't other brands are able to do it, I just feel like it looks a little messy to me, but who knows?
Yeah, because you have to imagine, like, not just model sizes are going to be wearing these clothes. There's going to be women in 14, 16 size, and if they wore some of these things, it's like they put a trash bag on them.
Right.
And now they need to work it. No.
Yeah, especially at the price point. Like, if you're charging, like, $300 to, like, $1,000 on an item that looks grungy, who's spending that kind of money? If you're 16 and you're spending that kind of money, maybe you got your parents, whatever, but ain't nobody spending that kind of money on something that could be in the trash can, No offense, but ain't nobody spending that kind of money on that. I would rather spend my money on something that's really cool, really tailored, really simplistic, and not too over the top,
Yeah. Not to sound conceited or anything, but usually when I would watch New York Fashion Week, I'd think, oh my God, one day I hope to be just like them. I hope to be creating these beautiful wearable works of art. And then this New York Fashion Week, I thought, oh my God, I could have totally done this and done way better than most of the people there. And I find that sad. I mean, I'm not saying that my work isn't good, but I'm saying, like, what's going on?
Right.
Like, these are people who have been in the industry for years.
Yeah, I know. And it's just like, I don't know. So let's kind of get into it. So we're going to list 5 brands that we liked, and then we're going to list maybe a couple brands that we feel like missed the mark. We kind of talked about this a little bit before of like, during the week of like who we thought was great and who we thought was doing it. So I'm going to say the first brand that I actually really, really enjoyed a lot, just because I felt like it kind of went with what we're going through right now with the whole pandemic, people dressing for home now. Not a lot of people are going out, and if they are going out, it's probably like a small gathering of people, obviously socially distant, and we just want to kind of go into. I feel like it kind of transitioned or talked about, or even mirrored what this customer is looking for. So my first brand is Rodarte. I really loved this collection just because usually they do a lot of florals, inspirations. It's like their thing. They're very into like floral arrangements, prints, very extravagant dresses, tulle dresses, and I think for this collection to be what it was very minimal, very not minimal. It still had that floral essence, that floral fantasy that they that's a part of their brand. But I think they made it into like trousers, like over the size shirts, and maybe small little like dresses and things like that.
It's like toned down,
yeah.
Yeah.
So it for me, I really enjoyed it. I feel like it was different. I mean, even you, like, Ariel, you have like a Rodarte like sweatshirt, and I'm just kind of like, the sweatshirt is not. It's like, while it's cute, but it's like $300 for the pants and the shirt. I'm like, and they don't even look up to. I'm like, nah, sis. Like, y'all, like the sisters that own that brand, y'all could have done better. But I think with this collection, it was kind of like an amalgamation of both their the stuff that they actually sell in department stores and some stores, as well as a combination of their high-end things that you see on the red carpet. So I enjoyed it. What did you like about it, Ariel?
It wasn't my favorite.
I know.
I'm not into the whole whimsical thing. I mean, it's cool to look at, but I always think of, like, would I wear it? And I just wouldn't wear it.
True. Yeah.
But so that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah. I think it's I think I mostly liked about it is because it's a little bit of a change. Because I never really liked Rodarte. I mean, I think their inspiration and their ideas are very, like, cool and unique and all that stuff. But I felt like it was super expensive. Like, I remember I was looking at, I guess one of their, like last season or whatever, and I saw it in store. I saw it on Motor Operandi because Motor Operandi has their like trunk shows and everything, so they list all their product. One of their dresses was like $12,000. I was like, wait, what? And it was like a simple tulle dress that you could probably get the tulle from like downtown LA.
But I'm sure they didn't.
I'm sure they didn't, but it just, but like I feel like tulle, no matter where you get it, it still has the same texture. Maybe some of it like a little bit softer. No, am I wrong?
Oh no, yeah, you're wrong.
Okay.
You can tell when it's cheap because it'll scratch you, and then when it's really nice, it just like.
But I remember
like silk.
This reminds me of like, okay, so we used to work at a store together, and I remember I was looking for this particular item. It was a Monique Lillier item, which was like $8,000, and I felt it, and it was scratchy too. So it's like $8,000. So like, are they actually buying the real stuff, and you know, like not real meaning like the actual quality items that is made out of silk and things like that? And this, are they actually buying the real? So are they actually buying the real stuff and giving it the price that it deserves, or are they buying the cheap stuff, the polyester, the whatever, and then just marking it up as if it's silk? Because they obviously have to make a profit too.
Yeah, but usually to validate that markup, you need it to be high quality, and I would prefer silk. So when you look at like the tag and the inside of the garment, if I see something's like $10,000 and it says polyester, well, what is justifying this cost? I'm not going to pay for that. And even when I'm working on my own brand, I want silk. I was working or in contact with a printing company, and I said I wanted silk twill. They're like, well, we have a polyester option. It's like, no.
Right.
I will go to cotton, but I won't go to poly because you're not going to spend that kind of money on poly.
Yeah, true. You're not going to spend... And it's crazy because I see a lot of designers that are using polyester in their collections, and I'm like... It looks good. I mean, it's probably like $1,000 or $1,200 or something like that, which I feel like that's kind of justifiable.
Yeah. It depends what they're using polyester for. If they're doing a pleated dress, I mean, I think they kind of have to use polyester because it'll hold the pleats. But other than that, I mean, it depends.
Okay. So she's helping me out with that part because honestly, when it comes to like I do create my own collection as well. So when it comes to like fabrication and like the construction, she has that knowledge because I'm more of a merchandising head and she's more of a designer head. So it's like, I don't know.
I usually know what justifies the cost because I worked at BCBG too, and I knew everything that they put into the price. So it's like how many stitches are in there, like how many seams, is there a little pocket detail, is there this, is there that, all of that factors in. Okay. So that's how I know if the price is worth it. Okay,
I see. I feel you. Okay, well, you next. What brand did it for you?
I like Jason Wu. I liked how he started. When he started Fashion Week, I thought, okay, cool. You know, this is how Fashion Week's gonna go. This is great. I was quite disappointed after him. I must say. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily wear what he put out there, but I just liked the story that he told. I love the runway show. It was just like calm and seemed zen.
Right.
But then his clothing seemed good for what is going on in the current climate.
Yeah, I agree. I think I liked the collection. How do I say this? I liked the presentation. I think if you go to NYU and New York Fashion Week's website and you see all the shows, I think the presentation was well executed. It was maybe about 30 to 60 guests, maybe 80 guests, all spread out 6 feet apart, all wearing masks. Some were not wearing masks, but I was kind of like, okay, well, they're spread out, so who needs the mask? And it was actually on a rooftop in like this jungle safari area. So it was like air breezing through, so it didn't really matter if they weren't wearing a mask or not. But I think in terms of like, so I view Jason Wu in the combination of like Alexander Wang, Lorenzo Schooler, like they all started at the same time 10, 12, 15 years ago. So I feel like his collection reminded me of, forgive me, Lord, when I say this, Revolve. It was very Revolve-y in a sense, just because it you could tell. Okay, so some of the dresses and some of the like jumpsuits were cute. They were cute, but that's just it. They were cute. They weren't like, I didn't feel that like, oh my God.
And I'm not saying that. But like when you compare it to the rest of Fashion Week, it's like, which is sad.
Okay, she got me. But I do appreciate that Jason Wu really thought outside the box. He wanted to, show his imagination or his inspiration, which was very, what would you call it? Jungle chic or something like that.
How about that? But I can get, I don't know what you would call that. Tropical? Not really.
I just felt like,
is he more resort?
It seemed exactly.
Yeah.
It seemed like it could fit resort. And then we're talking and this season that Fashion Week is in, it's spring summer 2021, and I feel like spring summer 2021. There's a little. I feel like there should have been. I felt like he was showcasing maybe both resort and a little bit of spring summer 2021.
But at least he did that, because some other designers, their collection is very dark. And had sleeves and jackets, and I thought, how is this spring summer? But
they are, a lot of them are showcasing to a global audience, and
true.
Over here where it's hot during February all the way up until September, the other parts of the world is actually very cold.
So you mean there's other places besides California?
Yeah, there are. there is. You got to think of some of his customers probably are in Dubai.
And then Australia. Which is opposite.
Yeah, Australia.
I guess.
Maybe Europe, because it is cold. It starts getting cold around December in Europe, and then it doesn't end until like maybe May.
Well, I guess I was just hoping for more color.
Okay.
And I was disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like, it didn't. This season didn't really do much, I feel like, for me. But I think another brand that actually, going into the next brand that I actually really liked, and I think we both, at first I wasn't here for it, but then I actually saw the show and actually saw the images and stuff like that. Well, not the show, sorry, the images, and really dug into like the inspiration. And I was just like, okay, I can see this. And I like that they use a black model all throughout. What's the name of it? Boo or something? Monstrat. The one that you sent me. It was Bibu Monstrata or something like that. You liked him? Bebo.
I am so bad with names.
I know. So
my God.
It's BIBHU and then MOHAPATRA. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's hard. I mean, please, someone correct us.
Please do. And you can spell it phonetically in the comments as well.
Please. Because we don't know how
and we don't want to sound stupid.
Yeah. But after at first I was like, okay, I'm not really into it. And then I texted Ariel Ariel texted me about it. And then I started looking into it and I started actually reading the inspiration. I was like, this is actually really cute.
Which is weird, because when I saw the photos, that's what sold me. When I watched their little video, I thought, oh,
really?
Yes, I didn't like their video. I thought it just kind of took away from the visuals that I got from just the photos.
Do you think maybe they didn't show all of the collection, or is it because it was just
I think it's just
the lighting or the video.
It got too conceptual for me. The song that they were playing in the background, I was just like, this is just a bit much. You could have just left it at the photos. I would have been fine with it. I was sold. I was like, okay, great, color. My type of style.
Right. I was actually,
garments.
when I was looking at it, I was actually thinking of you, and I was just like, oh wow, this is definitely what she would wear.
Yes.
You know, so. But I really enjoyed it. I think it was, because usually he does a lot of like feminine dresses, very over the top gowns. He's on the red carpet sometimes too. So when I saw it, I was kind of like, I was thinking of that. And some of the looks do have that. Like you'll see a lot of like tulle gathered dresses, and you'll see like tulle skirts and very like sculptural, like sculpturally draped blouses and things like that, and really nice tailored trousers. But I think he kind of toned it down a little bit more to make it more in time or on relevant for the customer that is shopping right now, because ain't nobody going out, ain't nobody doing anything right now. Like,
no, but I get it. But it's also spring, summer 2021. It's a year from now.
True.
By that time, this should all be over, right?
We should hope. Go out and vote. So, but yeah, no, I really like that collection. I think it definitely he definitely did a good job at kind of executing his vision. And I like that. Like I said before, I like that he used a black model, because I feel like we need that. I feel like a lot of designers are using black models. My only thing is, will it last?
True, because I saw that throughout all of New York Fashion Week, there was way more diversity.
Way more.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, will it last?
Will it last? I mean, I feel like a lot of brands are being called out, and I feel like they're just, I'm going to put in a black model because I don't want to be called out. And I'm just like, if that's the case, you should just stick to your thing. I would have respected you a lot more if you just stick to, whatever you wanted to stick to. But but I think it's good that they, brands are doing that, because I feel like there needs a little bit more of diversity. Especially modeling for black women is a lot harder than it's harder, because you're kind of compared to the next black model, to the Naomis, to the Tyra Banks, to the Imans. Like you're kind of looked at in their strengths, and you're kind of like, oh, can you do that? So at least that's what I've been told by other black models that I've worked with in the past. So, but it's good that it's kind of changing a little bit. So let's just hope that it just stay where it is. So what is your next favorite designer that you like from New York?
I liked Libertine. Are they even... They're New York, right?
I think so.
Because I keep choosing London fashion designers. I know. It's really
also,
bad.
London Fashion Week started when New York Fashion Week ended. So, like...
It could be mixed.
It could be mixed. And she's kind of like... she's telling me, like, oh, I love this and I love that. Sweetie, it's London. It's not New York. But, But
I should tell you something. American fashion needs to step it up.
Yeah, it should tell you something. I mean, and to be honestly, like... We're going to go back to your favorite brand in a second, but to be honest, I felt like, yes, European fashion does it the best, but I also felt like there wasn't a lot of, like, the brands that we are used to watching, like Ralph Lauren, like, they did all theirs online, which was great, but it wasn't, like, heavily prevalent in this fashion week. I just felt like I was underwhelmed by this season's fashion week. There was not a lot of media frenzy about it. Usually when it's like regular, in the regular post or pre-pandemic era, there was like celebrities wearing the designers that they were going to the shows for, like, what's her name? Cardi B wearing Mike Jacobs, going to Mike Jacobs, being filmed wearing Mike Jacobs, or photographed wearing Mike Jacobs. The Icon Awards by Harper's Bazaar, or whatever companies doing the Icon Awards, you see the red carpets, just like a bunch of events and like, frenzies. This season, it just felt, I didn't really feel connected in a sense. It was very weird, very weird. So I'm just kind of like, is this what it's going to be like for the next year or so? Obviously, like once the pandemic ends, we will see a different light. It'll probably go back to the same. but still a little bit different. But I just felt like it just didn't really do anything for me, especially with it just felt weird. It just felt off. But anyways, Libertine. What did you like about it?
I always love their prints, and I love how they do like a monochromatic print. So the shirt is the same, the jacket's the same, the pants are the same. Now I probably wouldn't wear the whole thing together, but just like to live in that like fantasy where you can wear that whole. I just love it. Because then you can see something in there and be like, okay, I can wear that with this. I can wear that with that. And you just, it's fun.
Yeah. I liked it too. I looked at, when she texted me, I looked at it and I was just like, I mean, I like the prints, but I felt like it was very like, you know, those like really modern designers that are doing like the deconstructed, half deconstructed look in a sense. It kind of looked like that to me, but it was it was cute. It was very like for women, and I think they did menswear as well.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely targeting a certain demographic. So, and that's fine, you know, if that's what they want. But for me, I felt like I would definitely get their shirts if they have it for men and stuff like that. But I feel like the other stuff will like I don't know if it's for me, but it's cute. It's a cute collection, and I think they did a really good job at executing their aesthetic.
Yeah, if you're not afraid of color, they're for you. Libertine is your new brand.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid of color. Like I wear a lot. I'm now more so getting into color. Like I wear blues, I wear pinks now. I wore a yellow jacket yesterday. So I'm getting into color, but their color was just like like an amalgamation of different colors and it's just overload. And I was just like, wait a minute.
Yes.
How am I gonna style this? What's it gonna look like?
You can do it. You can do it.
I need the inspiration, girl. I need the inspiration.
Just look at their runway. Their photo shoot. Just do it exactly like that.
Yeah, but like if I get just their shirts, and their shirts are pretty. They're not expensive. They're like pretty reasonably priced. But if I get like a shirt, what am I gonna wear it with in my own wardrobe? You know,
jeans.
You know I don't wear jeans.
Okay, black trousers.
Okay, maybe that could work.
You can do it. Or green jeans in your wardrobe. You can. Come on.
Listen, I have hips.
It's called stretch denim.
Tried it. But yeah. So Libertine, they did a good job. I think I'll give them that. So my third brand that I actually liked is, I'm trying to remember. I know.
That's good.
I know. Oh, Frey. So Frey, they're I don't think a lot of you probably know who Frey is. They're like this New York-based brand. They used to be called Mosika Frey. It was these two menswear designers, Alexandre Mosika and Davidson Frey, and they became Mosika Frey. I don't know what's the tea, what happened. I want to know the tea, but apparently they broke up and they have two different brands. Mosika is one brand and then Frey is one brand. And I'm like, what's the tea? Because when I heard that it became Frey and not Mosika, and then all of a sudden a month later, there's Mosika, the clothing line. I was just like, ooh, what's the tea on that? What happened? Y'all broke up? I don't know if they were gay or anything like that. I'm just assuming, but obviously I don't want to put it out there because if you are listening and you're not gay, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying it just seems very weird. But amen.
But usually partners in fashion, they don't last. There's so many brands where they separate.
That's true. But they were doing so good. Like they dressed Jay-Z, they dressed Beyonce. Well, no, I don't think they dressed Beyonce, but they dressed Jay-Z, they dressed Omari Hardwick from Power, they dressed 50 Cent, they just dressed a lot of like hip hop artists and people like that. So it was just like they had a good dynamic duo, but so I was actually really surprised that they both kind of split up and then started their own brands, Frey and Mosika. So whatever happened, tell us the tea, because I want to know. But I really liked I liked Frey's collection. Like, his collection, dope. He introduced women's wear, which to me wasn't really like an introduction because, or it wasn't really like I ventured into women's wear. It was all suits for women. And I was just like, I was hoping like maybe like a dress or two. And then I get it, you're a menswear designer and you're like, your thing is suits and like tailoredness and all that stuff. I would have been like, you could tailor a dress, you know, make it cute, a silk dress or something, but maybe that wasn't in the works for this season. But I will say the color combinations, the oranges, the pinks, the blacks, the army greens, just the patterns that he created with the blazers was just amazing. Tailored to perfection. He had he created like a little like short video. So Davidson Frey is kind of like, he's a creative genius. He does, I think, movie production. He has his clothing line Frey, and then he also has like a shoe line. I don't know if that's still going on, but it's called Lovato or Lovati. I think that's his. I feel like, I don't know, I always get mixed up if it's his or if it's someone else, but I think that's his. But correct me if I'm wrong. So he did like a video with this amazing actor. Can't remember his name, and I can't remember what other videos he's been in, but he's recognizable. If you see him, he's recognizable. So he did a little small short video or movie based around his clothing line. Obviously, everyone's wearing his clothing line, and then he just had a bunch of really cool actors in it. I will say the video kind of, I don't know if, have you seen the show Power with Amari Hardwick? Mm-mm. It's kind of like successful, so I'll give you the whole synopsis. It's like or the plot. Successful, good-looking black entrepreneur has a bunch of different nightclubs and restaurants in the New York area, but also to mirror all that on the side, he has a drug dealing business, and he's a drug dealer, and a lot of craziness.
Like how you whisper.
And a lot of craziness happens throughout his drug dealing, and people dying and getting shot, and it's just a bunch of mess. But in Frey, Davidson Frey's video, it kind of mirrored that. It kind of reminded me of that, and I was just like, the actor was living the lavish life, had a bunch of money, but then like in another scene, he's going into some type of warehouse, and then people jump him, and I'm like, oh, so this is power. So, but it was really, I think all in all, the collection was good. I love the color palette. I think it was, I think for women who want that androgynous look, I think it really fits them.
Yeah, because it's tailored too, so you're not losing your silhouette.
Yeah, exactly. You're definitely not losing your silhouette, and I think they have. And the color scheme in general is perfect for both men and women.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I know you have to be a very strong-willed man to wear pink or bright orange or whatever. But I think it looked cohesive. It looked clean. It showed, for me, I'm all about black excellence. It showed a bunch of, like, I feel like you saw a huge amount of black people kind of representing, fashion, and showing that we are here, we are in the fashion industry, and this is what we stand for. Yeah. And I felt like he did a good job at sending that message and creating this film. The film, I feel like there could have been a little bit more of a plot, and I kind of didn't understand what the topic was about or what he was trying to achieve. I just felt like if you're gonna do like a film, make it more plotty and make it stick instead of it being like I got the idea and I got what he was trying to go for. Just a man in a nice suit. He has a bunch of, he's a successful guy, sleeps with a bunch of women, bachelor, and then some craziness happens later on and he's in a fight and then he kills people. Or I don't know if he killed someone. I can't remember if he did or not. But I just feel like there wasn't really like a plot to it.
It's a bit much for selling clothes. I watched the first 10 seconds of the video.
And you're like, nah.
Well, no, because I saw he was putting on the jacket, he was picking out some. I was like, all right, cool. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm good. And then I didn't need to watch the whole thing. I didn't watch most of the videos. Like, I'd start, but his was like, okay, all right, I don't need to watch anymore. I get it. I get the idea. And I saw the orange suit. I was like, yeah, that looked great with my hair.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
And I like this brand because it's very luxury, like very like expensive fabrics. Like, it looked perfect.
Yeah, you could see that in the photos.
Yeah, I was here for it. So then, what's your next one?
I like Zimmerman.
Zimmerman.
I think they're Australian. I always love Zimmerman. I've always been a huge fan because they do so much in their clothes. There are so many seams. Their prints are so detailed. That is worth the money. And it's not even as much as you would think when you look at it. I love you, Zimmerman. I'm just saying.
I have been following Zimmerman, and I do like Zimmerman. I think they're a good brand. I will say that I heard that the corporates are kind of racist, but I mean that's the corporate. That's the kind of corporate. But I mean,
it's still not okay.
It's still not okay.
You see, you can't.
Yeah.
Well, fix that issue.
Not to rain on your parade.
So I won't feel bad for buying your clothes.
Listen, buy their clothes. I mean, shoot, even if they nobody. My thing is this. Their corporate is different from their collection.
Corporate is the same.
But I feel like
it's the headquarters.
Maybe the designers themselves don't know what's going on, and maybe they're trying to rectify the situation. Who knows?
Let's hope so.
And I'm definitely not sticking up for them, but I do feel like their collection is beautiful. If I was a woman, I would definitely buy a bunch, but in this instance, I'm glad I'm a man. So.
All right. I didn't know all that.
There's that.
I kind of just go by what looks cool.
I mean, honestly, it looks cool, and I think every woman, it really accentuates the body. It really does flatter, specific body types. So whatever they've done, or whatever backlash they've gotten because of their, racist antics or whatever the case may be, I don't know. I haven't read too much about it. I've just heard it through social media and through all this other stuff, especially now that the brands are being called out.
Good.
So I don't know if they made any changes. I don't know what exactly happened in headquarters or in retail stores. Then again, it's like the head of the brands don't have control over the retailers or their retail stores. I mean, so like the manager could have done something, and that kind of represents the brand itself.
Then get rid of the manager.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Fix it,
please. Fix it, because I mean I love the brand, and I was actually for my store. I was actually looking. I got in contact with the wholesaler, and I was looking at the brand, but I was like, but they don't treat black people right. Why would I just put them in here?
You can't do that.
I can't do that. And I'm just saying, I'm just going off of little snippets of what I heard. I don't know for sure what's been going on with Zimmerman. I don't know I don't know anything. So whatever's happening, I hope they are able to kind of fix the situation and talk about it and address it. I hope they did. But I like their clothing. I think the head designer or the owner, she's a very nice woman. I've seen her interviews. I've seen all of her stuff. She's very, very cool. So I don't take any malice or any blame towards her. Maybe it's just the other managers that work on, below her that just do what they want. So there's that. And then I think this is my last brand that I really enjoyed was Christian Siriano. Yeah. She didn't like it. I mean, I
was excited for it because Women's Wear Daily hyped it up, and I was like, all right, yeah, we're finally going to get a fashion show. This is going to be awesome. There are gowns.
Listen, I truly enjoyed the collection. I think it was a bit of escapism, especially with the pandemic. Yeah. Christian Siriano, the guy, he actually did the collection or did the fashion show at his
Connecticut
house. And the house was gorgeous. Obviously, when you're a big time designer, you have all this kind of money.
So support us.
Okay, yes, please support us. We're trying to get there too, okay? So I liked the presentation. Everyone was spread out, like with Jason Wu. Everyone had masks on. Even the models had masks on.
Yeah.
And it just looked very interesting, very much like how Fashion Week was pre-pandemic in terms of like collection-wise and like these different, couture, women's wear, evening wear designers. However, he had a bit too many dresses that I feel like cost maybe between the 6,000 to 10,000, maybe the 20,000 range, especially the last few dresses. And we've talked about this before. Me and Eric have talked about this before in terms of like couture and like who's shopping for couture now and who's spending $20,000, on a gown or $60,000 on a gown from a couture house. I felt like he's a New York-based designer. We are in a I don't want to say recession. I mean, yes, we're kind of in a recession, but like...
But the people buying those gowns will have money, no matter what.
They will, but I feel like, are they buying them? Are they still buying them?
It could be.
But if it's small and very few, what's the point of having this entire 20 to 30 piece collection of 10 or maybe $6,000 to $10,000, maybe $15,000 gowns that you're selling to a small group of people?
But it's also for the theatrics of it.
So just for marketing.
It could just be for that, for you to get into the show, to see the other pieces, and maybe you can't necessarily buy these gowns, but you'll buy a piece of it. You'll buy that story. So you'll buy the dress that's maybe only $1,000. Because that's what you can afford.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
That's why a lot of brands do accessories and perfume.
That is true. We actually had a long conversation about this because I was always... I understand couture. Like, I love couture. But I feel like now, in the modern age, couture is slowly dying. And I feel like a lot of these brands that are just doing couture, that are part of the Chambre de Syndical Haute Couture in Paris, France... I feel like, how are they making money? How are they able to really sustain? A lot of them don't have perfume collections. Not all of them do. The only one that does, I think, is Dior obviously is Dior. They have everything. Chanel, everything.
Viktor and Rolf has everything. Elie Saab has everything.
But, okay. But then there's Tom Ward. Then there's Julien Fournier. Then there's, what is the other one?
Trust me, if they're doing it, they have buyers.
Okay.
Because that costs a lot of money.
Russo, they don't have a freaking perfume, but they have a handbag line, and the handbags are
shoes. Their shoes is what really got them, because they have the leaf detail. Oh, those shoes are beautiful.
They're beautiful, but $1,000, more than $1,000. $2,000. $2,000.
They're worth it. Trust me, they're worth it.
Do you have a pair?
I do.
What?
Because I can't buy their $60,000 dress.
You never told me you had a pair. I would have been rocking in those like forever.
Oh my god! And their customer service is amazing.
Okay, you're gonna have to show me these pair of shoes.
I'm just saying, you need to buy Ralph and Russo. Mm-hmm. They are an amazing company. They're amazing.
Yeah, I love Ralph and Russo.
Amazing.
I love Ralph and Russo. I think they're a beautiful, like, London-based brand
who made it into couture, being in London. So that should tell you something.
That should tell you a lot. Also, I like Tamara Russo, right? Tamara Russo? Is that her name? Tamara?
I think so.
Yeah, it's Tamara Rolf and Michael Russo.
Yes, there you go.
Tamara Rolf and Michael Russo.
I've met Michael before.
Yes, you have.
He's very nice as well.
Tamara Rolf, she's very creative. I saw like an interview with her. I've read a couple of magazines with her featured, and her mind is just everywhere. And I'm just like here for it because I love a creative genius, you know? And, but yeah, I think with Christian Siriano, I felt like, I don't know if he's that big or that known globally to like have that.
But he's just trying to bring it to America.
True.
But
I mean, I did saw an interview where he posted a $17,000 dress on Instagram and someone bought it right then and there. So
there's people.
There is people. I'm just like, I'm curious, who, you know, and who are you? I mean, shop with me. Like, I have the goods. Okay, I have the goods. So,
But that wasn't the issue with the line.
what was the issue with the line in your
It
case?
just looked cheap.
But what?
The prints, and then
You
he
think?
just put it in like a random sleeve or like a little peplum on the skirt, and I just
Wasn't here for it.
no. I've seen it. Like that's the first thing they kind of teach you what not to do. I feel like.
Damn.
It just, and then I appreciate people now using plus size models. Like that's amazing. But what he put that model in, I was not okay with.
Okay.
Like, you're trying to sell clothes, not make someone look bigger than they are.
Listen, so go to fashion. Go to Vogue Runway. Look up Christian Siriano. I think it's look number 20. So he had one plus size model. I think one plus size model. Maybe there was like another one, but it was just one plus size model. And she was in like this mini skirt dress type thing, and I was like. Granted, she had a body. She looked like she was more of like a size 16 than a size like 20 or 18. Or maybe even a 14, I don't know. But I feel like most plus size women or most extended size women aren't wearing short dresses, or at least in that price point.
It was short up front, long in the back, and then just like a bra top.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Like, at least they made the other Coco was
Rocha?
present.
Yeah.
She looked great.
So I beg to differ on that dress.
But she looked better.
Yeah.
Then they could have styled it so much better. But I mean, it was just, I didn't like the collection. So.
I didn't like it either. I honestly felt like, I don't know. It just felt, in that look, it felt weird. It felt very, very weird just because I feel like he knows how to dress plus size women. He knows how to make them look beautiful. I feel like that was a little too much.
Yeah.
And granted, if you want to be sexy. Go off, sis. Go off. But for that aesthetic that he was presenting in the collection, where it was very elegant, very, modern, very tailored, very couture-esque, I feel like with that particular gown, it didn't really fit with the collection.
Yeah.
That dress for the extended plus size woman. Coco Rocha's child. The last look is this red freaking ball dancer dress that he put on Coco Rocha. Coco Rocha is gorgeous, beautiful, gorgeous, and she does not look pregnant. Like up in front, she doesn't look pregnant. From the side, I was like, oh, she's having another child. I forgot that she was having, because I follow her on Instagram and I follow her on what's it called, Facebook, and she posts about her family, she posts about her modeling gigs, and she's a really, really funny person. But I had forgot that she was pregnant because she doesn't look pregnant, and she's 7 months pregnant too. So she's popping that baby in November, and I'm like, you do not look pregnant. Like, titties are still hanging up high. Wow. I'm sorry, I know. Sorry, that's just me. But they're still hanging up high, and she just still looks slim, and she can still fit the sample size of that dress. So I'm like, but that dress just didn't do it for me. One, because the skirt lining or the skirt seaming it was like a full half high-low dress, high-low skirt dress or whatever, but it was way below her, on her waist. The dress was positioned below her waist, and I felt like it should have been above her stomach or at the a high-waisted thing to make it look a little bit more appealing. It just looked weird. It looked weird on her. It looked like she looked boxy. Especially when she's pregnant, she looked very boxy to me in that dress. But then again, it's she's pregnant, so maybe on someone regular it wouldn't be that way. But the skirt seam is low, so it's gonna be a boxy fit for anyone, I feel like.
Yeah, but I guess if you're gonna show it on a pregnant woman, it should fit a pregnant woman.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
I'm
guess.
just saying.
I guess. I just feel like it was. I love the collection in general. I think all the looks were amazing. It's just those two dresses. Oh, and there's this one dress. It was like a yellow pleated. No, like a yellow cape dress. It was like yellow tulle with embroidered flowers, like confection flowers or something. Not even real flowers. Not that you you can't do that. Not that you can do that, but I mean, whatever. But like it just looked weird, and she was just wearing like a weird color and like, no, it just didn't work for me. Didn't work for me. But beautiful collection, all in all. If I had the dollars, I would definitely want his collection or some of his pieces in my store. But I know she's not going to be a customer, but it's okay. There's a bunch of millions, thousands, billions of y'all out there, so maybe one of you would want one.
I mean, we saw his house.
Listen,
So
that house is gorgeous. Have you if you see the behind the scenes, if you go on the behind the scenes on his like Instagram, I think maybe if you go on Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, excuse me, if you go on New York Fashion Week, you can kind of see his like house and everything like that. Damn, beautiful. My hope is to have that one day. We'll see. But yeah, so that was my fifth one, I think.
Yeah.
So what's your fifth?
well, they're not technically New York Fashion Week, which is what I've learned, but I have no other like favorites. So we're gonna say Burberry, because
That's
Burberry
London. Okay.
was to die for. I was like, finally, here is a collection where I'm like, yes, like, see, this is what I strive to be like.
Right.
Like how they styled it, the colors they used, the prints, everything.
Yeah.
It was just stunning.
I definitely liked Burberry too. I think they did a great job at just kind of showing. I mean, Riccardo Tisci, like, genius. You know, Riccardo Tisci was at Givenchy, did an amazing job. One of his collections that I loved was the 10-year anniversary of the World Trade Center falling down, 9/11, where he did like a shamanistic, nomadic type collection in New York for Givenchy on the rooftop. Do you remember that collection? Do you remember? I'll show it to you.
I don't, yeah.
It was gorgeous. When I think about it, I just die because it's so beautiful. And I was kind of sad when he left Givenchy, and I was like, where are you going? And he said he's going, and then the announcement was he's going to Burberry. And I was like, Burberry? I mean, Burberry was so bad before he came. So bad. Like, people, like, shoes were ugly. Like, there was just nothing to it. It was just very, like...
When did he come in?
I think it was, like, 2018, maybe 2017.
Was he the one who did the rainbow, like, cape thing and, like, faux fur for Burberry?
I think so.
Oh. Okay, well, you've stepped it up. Because that was awful. I understand, like, the message you were going for, but what? It's a bit much.
When did that come out? Because I don't know if you...
I was still at Neiman's. Well, I'm still at Neiman's.
Yeah.
But, like... I don't know. I remember they bought it, and I was like, ooh.
And they bought it in the store?
Not our store. Our store has nothing.
Oh.
No, but the buyers bought it, and I thought, ooh. Then it was on sale. It's like, shocked.
Did you buy it?
No.
Oh. I probably would have bought it. I don't know. If it was meant for men, I probably would have bought it. But
it was a cape. I mean, anyone could wear it.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
It's just I think you'd have to... Did you see it?
I'm trying to think of which cape it was. I have to remember.
You're gonna have to see it.
Okay, I'll see. We'll look at it.
You'll change your mind.
Maybe I don't want to see it because I love Burberry right now. Like,
oh yeah, it's so much better. They've really stepped it up.
Yeah, I was a contractor for Burberry here in Los Angeles for the holidays, and honestly, like, a lot of the pieces for men and women were really beautiful. And, like, when you feel it, it was actually, like, real quality. And I feel like he did a great job. But the thing about Burberry, especially, obviously they have to sell, and no one's going to buy the runway pieces. So
True.
a lot of the customers that buy at this Burberry store bought mostly like the hoodies and the sweatpants and the shirts.
Trench coats.
The trench coats, the trench coats didn't really sell as much as you would think.
Oh,
it was mostly like the hoodies, like those graphic tees. And I was just like, you're spending $700 on a graphic tee.
Yes, you can't think of that. You're in the fashion industry.
I know.
You can't think like that.
But my thing is, sorry, not to be ghetto. My thing is, for my store, I want the runway pieces. I ain't trying to get and then granted, it's a Burberry boutique. It's not an actual retail store that sells Burberry. It's the Burberry boutique.
Yep.
I just feel like, make it realistic. Who's spending $700 on a sweatshirt? And I think that's what makes me, because like, I'm in fashion. I know what goes into production. I know what goes into designing clothing. And I get it, you have to like sell product. That's why you have these other diffusion line products within your collection. The sweatshirts or the sweatpants, the graphic tees, all that stuff. But I feel like you could literally get those things done here in LA at a cheaper price and sell it at a cheaper price. But they get it done wherever they get it done. Looks similar to you getting it done at a printing shop, at a t-shirt printing shop elsewhere, or a sweatshirt printing shop. Looks similar in terms of fabric and quality and all that stuff. But you're selling it for like $700. Maybe branding, yes, for your brand, it's like, you've been in the game for this long. Obviously, you want to keep that status. But for someone who works in fashion, you ain't fooling me. The heck?
Well, they also have to. Well, you're paying for the design. So you don't know how long it took for them to design that.
True.
You're also paying for all their employees.
See, I don't want to pay for your employees. You should be paying for your employees.
Okay. But then when the employees complain when they're not making enough money.
True. I mean, I get it.
It's just, I
get it.
If you like it, buy it. If you don't, make it yourself.
You literally can make it yourself. Like, it's not that hard. Like, there's a printing company in downtown LA that you can make a sweatshirt similar to that yourself and just say it's Burberry.
But it's, again, instant gratification. Do you want to wait? Do you want to make the design, send it out to go get made? Or when you go in the store, try it on, you're just like, you know what? It's here. I have it on.
If I'm saving price.
Okay, again, you're not their customer.
If I'm saving price, listen, I love luxury items. I shop luxury. Me and her have a connection where we shop designer items. Like, I buy some Dior. I buy. I have these Prada shoes that I still haven't worn yet. And, she just recently got a Valentino bag that she doesn't want to give away, whatever.
Excuse me.
But I enjoy buying luxury goods. But I'm being knowledgeable of the fashion industry, where they do their production, how they do it. There are certain brands out there I feel like are not doing the do, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it doesn't make sense. The quality of it
with the price
doesn't make sense.
No, I get that. I remember once when I was in school in New York, I went to the Chanel store in Soho, and that's when they did their colorful collection where it looked like paint.
Oh yeah. That Resorts collection, I remember.
I loved it. There was this silk
with
cape dress. Yes. I wanted it so bad. And I saw the price tag, $10,000, and I was like, in the middle of the store, you gotta be kidding me. This is not worth $10,000. This is a print, okay? You did not hand paint.
It was a sweatshirt?
No, it was a dress. It was a silk dress. It was stunning. But okay, first off, I am printing on silk currently for my current collection.
Yeah.
There's no way that dress is worth $10,000.
They probably got it done. They probably did it. Do you think they maybe hand sewn it? I don't know.
No.
Like, was it just a simple silk dress?
It was not simple. Well, I must give you that.
Okay.
I mean, I understand if it was like, like $5,000. I'd be like, okay. But $10,000?
Ooh.
I think it was like 10 or 12. Maybe 10. I'm thinking 10. I'm thinking 10 though.
So they must have hyped that thing up.
But this was years ago.
Really?
I think it was first year of college, second year of college.
I remember because it was like a 2011 collection, wasn't it? Or 2012. 2012. I think it was 2012.
Oh, so then it must have been first year?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, that's like 8 years ago? Mm-hmm. It's $10,000?
Yeah.
And Chanel has their own manufacturing company and all of that, so
Yeah.
they can get better prices than what I can get currently. So the
But like you said, it's about the brand. It's a 100-year-old brand.
No,
like,
I know. So I'm just saying, I mean, there's some things that a designer will make and you're like, oh yeah, that's worth the money, and you'll buy it. But then there's some things and you're like, you're just being cruel.
Very cool. And now Chanel has like a hike up in their prices. Like everything's like 10% more than what it was.
Oh, that's their handbags. They always...
Yeah, they always do that with their handbags.
Yeah.
Because I was looking, I mean, I look at the women's handbags, to be honest, because they don't have anything for men. And I would rock a jumbo-sized handbag. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. But I feel like I was looking at the jumbo classic flap. It was perfect size. Perfect size for me. You know, I could fit a bunch of stuff in there. But it was, when I first started looking at it back in the day, it was like, and they're always going to remanufacture these, you know, classic handbags, the classic flaps and all that stuff. So when I first started researching it, it was like maybe $4,000. I was like, oh, that's good. I didn't want to get it at that time because, you know, obviously, you know, on a budget, I had to budget out, and I already spent a lot of money on clothing already. So I was like, okay, maybe like in a couple of seasons. And I'm not really pressed to get it at this moment. Recently, I looked at it. It's like the classic flap is now $7,000.
Oh my God.
$7,000. The jumbo classic flap is now $7,000. I remember when I was at Neiman's, I sold one to a customer, and it was like $5,000, $6,000. Now it's $7,000, and I'm like, what the heck?
It keeps going up.
It keeps going up.
But it holds its value, but I'm sorry, it's so boring, and everybody
Okay.
has it.
Hello?
Get like the really cool ones. I like their
Speak on
woven bags. Mm-hmm. But those are again $10,000. But they're so cool.
They are.
Like their couple collections ago, they do like these plastic bags.
Oh yeah, the see-through ones?
No, it wasn't see-through. And not like real plastic, but I feel like it's made out of plastic or maybe metal. But they did those freight cart things that come in on the ships.
I know. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So many different colors, and I wanted one, but it was like $12,000. I was like,
Listen, how she feels for Chanel is how I feel for Dior. I've been loving Dior since the very beginning. Like my fashion journey kind of started with Dior. It started with the magnificent, the amazing John Galliano. It was his last couture, I think his last couture collection before he unfortunately said some anti-Semitic things and was booted from the role.
which I get it. I mean, good for Dior for, you know, sticking up for the brand, but come on, John Galliano.
Right.
You were amazing.
I mean, and there's no justification for what he said.
No.
And I think he needed that to kind of like get back in his head, or like to like, because in an interview, maybe like 5 years after this situation happened, he did an interview with Time Magazine, like a video interview, and I watched it. And he was talking about how he would drink a lot, he was on pills, he was just very, very depressed, and he needed certain things to kind of keep him going. Because with fashion, especially when you're doing these really big brands, it will take a lot out of you. Like you do four to five collections a season, then you have couture, then you have the handbags, you have a bunch of things that you have to do, and you have to be relevant, you have to be good, you have to appeal to the end consumer, and that's got to be stressful on anyone. I would be a pill popper if I was in that situation.
Well, most of these designers don't just design for one line, too.
And exactly.
I mean, Karl Lagerfeld was designing for
Chanel and Fendi. I was like, wait a minute. And his own. I was like, where do you get the time? He made a lot of money, which I want to know where that money went to, though.
His cat.
His cat?
I feel like it went to his cat.
What he gonna do? What this cat gonna do with his money? What? His cat. It's just... I felt so bad for John Galliano, because literally, like, in that entire interview, he looked like he was gonna cry. And I was just like, I've been following him since 2008. Sorry, no. 2008, sorry, I'm getting these years mixed up. 2008, literally, I graduated high school, 2010. I've been following him since 2008. And then the first, like, love collection was his 2011 Haute Couture collection. It was, like, a red and, like, red and blue and green scheme. It was very interesting. It looked like all the models were all like powdered, like porcelain white, except for the black models, obviously. There was maybe like 2 black models or 3 black models, I don't know. But they were all porcelain white, wearing these like red coats, red dresses, some, and like just these like, feathery dresses. Some were like pink, some were yellow, some were blue, some were green. It was just a beautiful collection. And I was just like, after seeing that, I was like, I want to work in fashion. That was what really like made it was like for me in terms of like working in fashion. Like after seeing that collection, I was like, I want to be a part of this. I want to be in this world. Because at one point I wanted to be a doctor. And then I didn't really want, so I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't know what it meant
to be a doctor.
To be a doctor. I remember I shadowed for a doctor at one point, and that day of shadowing a doctor was hectic. Like there was like 5 people that came in with gunshot wounds, and the majority of them died, and it was just very bloody and gutsy and all that stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I don't think I can hack it. I don't think I could do it. And then I thought of pharmacy. Then I thought of going into pharmacy school because I studied biology in my undergrad. Then I thought of going into like other things, being a clinical psychologist. I don't know. I just thought of a lot of things. But then I always loved fashion because I would always go to class dressed up. Yeah. Like it was just like it was fun for me. It was like a hobby. Like I would everyone would be like, why are you dressed up for school? I'm like, what you mean?
I hated hearing that. Like,
right.
We're going out to dinner. Why are you so dressed up?
Exactly. And I'm like, listen, my husband could be here, okay? My husband could be here. If y'all didn't know, I'm gay. But no, I was like, you never know who you gonna see, who you gonna meet. Of course I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna look nice. There are times, obviously, I did not dress up, but for the majority of the times, I did look nice. And a lot of my friends were like, laugh at me, be like, why do you dress up like this? And it's like, I always talked about Fashion Week. I always talked about fashion. I always was interested in it. I did a bunch of like different photo shoots for like my school magazine. Newspaper, just to kind of showcase artistry and the industry and all that stuff. So all my friends, well, if you love fashion, why aren't you in it? And I'm like, am I gonna make money? What you mean? But then after like seeing the shows and seeing the creativity and seeing John Galliano's masterful collection, I was like, okay, I get it. I'm gonna do it. So yeah, Dior is like it for me. That's kind of, it's been always it for me. So this menswear collection that showed for, I think it was spring summer 21 menswear collection with the collaboration of this African artist. It was, oh my God, I want everything. I want it all. Like I will spend, if I had the money, I would spend everything. I would buy the entire collection in my size, and that would be it. I'll be happy with my life. I'll be happy. That's what I want.
I like what Dior is doing.
I love what Dior is doing. I will say, the women's wear designer, she needs to step it up a little bit.
I like what they've been doing for women's wear, but again, it's being kind of repetitive in the ready to wear. And then their newest collection is very fairy tale-y.
I just feel like
it was off like everyone else's, and then it's like, what?
I just feel like Dior. So Maria Grazia Chiuri, that's the designer's name. She's an amazing designer. She's very like she's all about feminism, all this stuff, and she creates beautiful clothing. She was in Valentino before going into Dior, and she did an amazing job in Valentino. But in Valentino, there was like a co-designer thing. So it was Pier Paolo Piccolo, and then there was Maria Grazia Chiuri. A lot of people are saying Pier Paolo Piccolo had the most creativity when it comes to designing, and then Mia Grazia Chiuri Grazia, however you put it, she was more of like she wasn't as conceptual or storytelling as you would think. And with her collections, yes, they tell a vivid story, but I feel like it's very like, and she does use a lot of the references with Dior, with the ball. What is it called? What do they call it? The ball. Oh, the new look. You know?
The new look, yeah.
Yeah. I think I always call it like the ball something.
like,
it's the new look.
What?
I'm like, no, it's the new look. Like with the new look and all that stuff, I'm just like, it's cute. It's cute. It's not. It's different. I feel like her couture collections are a lot better than her ready-to-wear collections because they're very. It's very like the couture is like, oh, the millennial baby boomer, Gen Z, and then it's the and then you have the ready-to-wear. It's the what do you call it? The Gen Z customer or whatever. So I don't know, but I do like the menswear. I think Kim Jones is doing a great job in menswear and Dior, and we'll see. I mean, obviously things are selling if because Maria Grazia is still there. So because Dior would have fired you in an instant. So obviously she's doing something well, so she's still there. But yeah. So let's go, and so to kind of wrap it, who did we not like? Maybe one designer that we was like, nah, like heck nah, to the nah, like who we just like not feeling at all.
So I like to just delete people I don't really care for. So I can't even give you a name, but if I didn't say your name, probably didn't like you.
Dang.
I don't think there was one I was thinking, oh my God, because I didn't even care for the name. If I didn't like it, I went next.
Right. I think for me, the one designer that I was just kind of like, what is this? Like, what is going on? What is this collection? I just don't get it. It just doesn't. It didn't sit well with me. It didn't make any sense to me. I think I'm gonna have to go with Christian Cowan. I don't know if you know that brand.
I mean, I probably saw it.
Yeah. I think so. Christian Cowan, I love Christian Cowan. Don't get me wrong, love Christian Cowan, love his collection. Love his previous collections. And I like this collection because he used a lot of LGBT influences, like now Lil Nas X. He used that snowboarder guy, the gay snowboarder, starts with like a H or a G or something, and he used a lot of like famous drag queens from RuPaul, I think. Then he had Dominic Johnson from Pose, Elektra. I don't know if you watch Pose. You didn't watch Pose.
You're freaking all the shows that I don't watch, and I literally sit here and watch like hours.
But so he used a lot of like LGBT like people. I just felt like the collection itself was just a little too. It didn't do it. Like his last collection was so good. Like to the 2020 fall winter collection was so good, especially his leopard print. This collection was just didn't do it for me. I just wasn't happy about it. I was just like, ugh. I was like, and I love Christian Cowan. I love it. And I get it, maybe in this pandemic situation, maybe he wanted to do something for the community. And I do like that some of the proceeds of the sale of his collection is going towards, I think, the LGBT community or like some type of nonprofit thing, which is great. But I felt like it wasn't really for me. It was too glittery, too like, yeah, just didn't do it. But yeah, so to kind of end it, we are gonna say how we felt about this fashion week. Was it a yay? Was it a nay? If so, if yes or no, why? And what do you predict to happen in the future? So Ariel, you can start.
It was all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was reading in Women's Wear Daily that they said that designers really need to push it because they're going to be using a digital platform and there's no runway show. I mean, they could do it, but most weren't. Like, what are you going to do differently? Like, now you need to be like really creative. So I was thinking that in my mind. And then I saw it, and I was like, ooh, no. Like, I feel a lot of designers forgot that they're still trying to sell clothes. Mm-hmm. And no. I'm really hoping that Fashion Week will go back to what it used to be and be runway shows, because, yes, runway shows are a lot of money, and it's a lot of work to put one, like, together, but... God, I have a dream of making it on a runway show. I'd love to have one and have my mom right there and be like... But, yeah, I really hope it gets better. I mean, this is only New York Fashion Week. Let's see what the Europeans do.
I know.
They better step it up. So maybe we over here can learn.
Okay. I will say, it kind of missed the ball for me. Honestly, like, when we were kind of planning out this podcast, you know, I didn't even know when New York Fashion Week was starting. That's how, like...
You're the one who told me.
Yeah, I know. But, like, I told you because I found out that night.
Yeah.
So it was just like... I didn't know when it was starting, and I was just like, "Oh, when is New York Fashion Week starting? Are they still doing shows? What are they doing?" I had no idea what was going on. Then again, you know, maybe I wasn't looking at the right publications or things like that. You have Women's Wear Daily.
I just got.
She just got. I don't have Women's Wear Daily. I have access to it online through my school, but I don't look at it that much. But it just felt. It felt underwhelming, and I felt like a lot of the designers, while some were great, and there were some that I actually liked that I didn't mention, like Ula Johnson. I thought she did a great job too. You know, there was a couple of designers that I felt like did great jobs, but it's just the fact that I chose it and, you know, made a huge impact on me. I just felt it could have been... There could have been a little bit more of a media frenzy about it. There could have been more, like, creative ways to make it more engaging on social media. Yeah. Because usually it's like on social media that when Fashion Week starts or when Fashion Month starts, that's when it's like, oh my God, like, you know, you're like looking at who's wearing who, who's wearing what. There was not that. There was none of that. So, I don't know. I just felt like it could have been a little bit more engaging. But I will say the designers really did their thing, especially with what they were working with. I can't blame them. I think they did a great job. I just think maybe, hopefully, not hopefully, but if the pandemic continues and we still have to watch it through digital, I just hope that they learn and kind of step it up a little bit and make it a little bit more engaging instead of it being kind of like, oh, Fashion Week is starting, we're watching, you know.
It's over.
It's over. Like, literally, it just, like, it started unexpectedly, it ended unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think all in all, it has a good start. It was a good start. Especially with what they're working with, and I think if this continues, hopefully we get back to normal by next season. But if not, we still have to continue doing the digital. And I know there are going to be some designers, even if we do get a vaccine for this COVID situation, they're probably still going to like do the digital stuff and not do the runways anymore.
Which is fine. I just won't watch them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just kidding. So yeah, that ends this podcast. I thank you guys so much for listening to us. This was good, wasn't it? You enjoyed it? Like, you feel like we have our own groove or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you will tell us.
Yes.
If you like it.
Yeah, please tell us, comment, definitely subscribe. We're going to be distributed on Apple Podcasts once we learn how to do that, as well as Spotify. So be on the lookout. If you are listening, obviously we're on Apple Podcasts and probably on Spotify. So keep listening to us, and we'll try to, create content and, videos and all that stuff for you guys once every week. And we're just going to talk about fashion, what we're going through with our brands, the ins and outs of building your own modern brand, what it takes to build it, the capital, the money, everything.
Yes.
Ariel's the designer, so she's going to talk about the ins and outs of, going through production, going through manufacturing. She's in production right now not production, but like sample making right now with like her collection. And I will say her collection is fire. Looks so good. I told her, like, once it's ready, I want to have some in my store.
Yeah.
And so she'll tell you like the process of that. But I'm sure it was it's probably was like an easier process for you in a sense. It's just some people probably want to know how they can go from like inception to actual reality. So,
Yeah. And I show that on Instagram too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll so in our next in our other podcast episodes, we'll be talking about, you know, just the ins and outs, and then as Fashion Week continues, we'll talk about Fashion Week as well. We don't really necessarily need to talk about London because London is like very short, but we will talk about maybe Milan or Paris, and then just continue on with just talking about what's been going on with our lives in terms of branding, marketing, designing, all that stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, we thank you.
Yeah.
Love y'all. This was fun, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.